Hi everyone, this is Life Peng from Today's Inspiration. You know, years ago, Today's Inspiration started out as an email mailing list. Every day I would scan something from an old magazine and send it to, well, at one point, almost 2,000 people all over North America, all over the world, really. Here's an old piece from 2007 that I sent out by Lucia Larner. After that, it became a blog. And there are about 1,000 posts on the blog about various illustrators featuring tons of art. And then eventually it became a Facebook group, which is what it still is today with almost 17,000 members. And the one thing that I've always been a bit frustrated about is when we look at illustration from the mid-century period online, even when you open it in theater view, you really don't get a sense of the scale. And I wondered if there was a way that I could improve upon that. Well, today I'm going to try something new, and I hope you'll enjoy it. I have here a stack of Ladies' Home journals and a few issues of McCall's that I ordered from eBay. And I thought it'd be fun to look through one, and maybe if I do this on video, it'll help you get a sense of the scale of magazines from that time period and what it was like for people to look at illustration in an actual magazine. I'm not sure if this will work or not, but bear with me. So this is an issue from April 1964. And let's take a look inside. So one of the things you'll notice right away is there's a lot of photography. By the mid-60s, magazines not only were getting a little thinner, but there's a lot less illustration than there was in the 50s. Not to say that there isn't any, but let's have a look here. For example, here's a sweet little illustration at the top of this ad. And as you flip through, there's a good chance you'll find a fair amount of that kind of thing. Now here's something that's a little bit more rare for the mid-60s, an illustrated ad illustrated in a high realism style, as opposed to photography, because that kind of ad would typically have been done with photography. There's another cute little spot, again for an ad, the majority of which is photography. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, there's another tiny spot. But mostly, again, photography. We'll keep going. And I'm kind of hoping with my hand here it'll help give you some sense of the scale. Again, another little series of spots. Okay. So here's our first actual commissioned illustration for an article by Lorraine Fox, one of the illustrators from the Cooper Studio. And just a little black and white spot in that case. Wondering if we're coming to a major story illustration. You can see we're pretty far into the magazine, and for the most part it's all still photo oriented. There's another nice little spot. And still no major illustrations. Here's a big ad for Mazola, and it's got a little illustrated decorative border. That's quite nice. Not signed, I don't think. That's the problem with a lot of advertising illustration. And that's another difference. In the 50s, a lot of advertising illustration would have been signed. In the 60s, more and more of it is just, you know, anonymous. Aha. Okay, so finally, here we are. Here's a story illustration by David Passalacqua, who's quite a renowned West Coast illustrator, although I guess he was doing a lot of East Coast work by this point. Sorry, I'm just kind of trying this out for the first time ever, so I'm sure I'll get better at doing video as I do more of this kind of thing. Excuse my thumb covering the lens now and then. Here's another story illustration, this one by someone I've never heard of before. Is it Des Asmussen or Asmussen? That's quite nice, line art. And I wonder with that name if this is a British illustrator doing some work in North America. Hard to say. A little spot cartoon. Haha, very funny. Okay, so here's kind of a cool thing. This is, it looks like an early days version of maybe like Amazon ordering products online and having them shipped to your home. And a lot of these are illustrated, some photography, I think, but mostly little illustrations. It's kind of neat. Another cartoon. Oh, and another cartoon. Hope you're getting some chuckles from these. Okay, and finally, there is a really substantial double-page spread and kind of a very cool, unique opportunity to see a magazine illustration by Diane and Leo Dillon, which is not typical. I'm just going to pan around it a bit so you can get a better sense of this artwork and how involved it is and how the reader back then in 1964 would have had the opportunity to, you know, see something really beautiful and really large scale compared to what we experience today. Again, there's my hand, and just look at the size of that spread. That's pretty awesome. And then that's it, aside from, again, small spots here and there all the way through the rest of the magazine. Mostly attached to advertising, I think. Some of them quite nice, like this little stylized line art. Some of them, again, surprisingly, still using the kind of realism that you might expect to be done with photography in 1964. And I'll keep going. Photography. Oh, there's a nice cartoon for an ad. I don't recognize the style. Oh, and some more. And then this is a really curious one. The product is photography, but with illustration. That looks vaguely familiar. Maybe it's Sheila Beckett? I'm not sure. Not great piece of illustration there. A little line spot for the poetry column. And, oh look, we get to save 10 cents on our next purchase of Armor Franks. And there's a little piece of line art. And then it's being reused there. That's art. All right. Some very, very simple fashion line drawings. A little cute cartoon bird. We're getting into the back pages now. I don't know that there's much left. A little spot illustration of a guitar. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Again, really nicely done artwork for an ad for Solar Cane. And then after that, I don't recall there being very much left in this one. Oh, here's another illustrated ad, all product illustration. And a really good little spot, cartoon bird. And very simplified, graphic designy kind of art. And that's it. There you go. Ladies' Home Journal, April 1964. All right, well, if you like this sort of thing, please make sure to hit the like, thumbs up thing, and I may do more of these, so if you feel like subscribing to this channel, that would be awesome. That'll help with the algorithm so that it gets seen by more people. So until next time, this is Life Pang. Talk to you soon.